The winds haven't started yet, so I went out on my run. Even though the rains clearly have, I was basically puddle dodging the whole way. I didn't do my usual Monday 5+ mile. As I mentioned last week, I'm trying to protect my knee, take it easy through December. We'll pick it up in January. No problems with the knee. I know it's there, but not too bad. And I was 188.8 on the scale, so that helps a little bit. Did, like I said, 4.3 miles. My pace ended up being 11 minutes, 22 seconds a mile, which is fantastic. So I had to stop a couple of times for traffic. And I genuinely was paying zero attention to pace. So that was good. I'm going to rant here for a bit. This weekend, Jimmy Rogers, the WSU football coach, up and left to Iowa State. And after I get over saying, fuck you, 26,000 times, I wanted to comment on the college coaching situation, particularly when it relates to the Cougars. I've went to WSU in the mid-'70s. I've seen coaches fired. I've seen coaches leave. And I sort of categorized them into three steps. And Jimmy Rogers is in that three groups, and Jimmy Rogers is in the lowest of the low group. You got guys who come in, they give, 2.5, 3 to 5, 7 years to the Cougars, then move on. I have no problem with that at all. Mike Price, Jim Walden, Mike Leach, zero problem. They came to the school, they committed, they built something, and then they moved on. That's what college coaches do. I worked 11 jobs in my career. I get it. Then you have, the ones who are fired. Paul Wolf, Jim Sweeney, the coach that followed Mike Price. There's really no loyalty. So, I don't feel that coaches owe loyalty to schools if they're there a while. Because the schools, sure as heck, don't owe loyalty to the coaches. Then you've got the one and dones. And I'm not sure how to relate to the coach. I'm having a brain freeze. Who took over after Rolovich became villain number one by refusing to follow a state mandate. He's in a special category of hell. So I don't really know whether I feel good or bad about Jake Dickert. He came in a difficult situation. He built something. He stayed a couple of years. He was young. I can almost understand him leaving. WSU was at the lowest point they were going to be in terms of conference. The Pac-12 had disintegrated, and the new Pac-12 doesn't start till next year. I understand that. But these scumbags, Jackie Sherrill going to Pitt after 1 year, Warren Powers going to Missouri after 1 year, Dennis Erickson leaving after 1 year, and then this guy, Jimmy Rogers, scum of the earth. Especially when you find out that he had been talking to Iowa State for years about coming there to coach. The only reason he went to WSU is they told him he needed experience at a bigger school before they could hire him. What a lying piece of shit. Particularly after he comes in with a great recruiting class on Wednesday, gets announced. I have nothing but contempt for that guy. Nothing but contempt. Okay, my rant is over. Well, I have to say one more thing. He wasn't that good. They were a horrible football team this year. He gets a big paying job going 6-6, losing to Oregon State 10-7, barely beating Idaho 10-7. He was terrible. So, fuck him. All right, that's it on my rant. Seahawks had a big win. Nothing else to say. It's pouring down rain. Not going to do much today. So, it's going to be a quiet day. Everyone's doing well. We're doing great here in the wet Ole, waiting for the atmospheric river. You all take care. We'll catch you next time.